Welcome once again to our divine message from our compassionate guides. Thank you as always for joining me, and I do hope today's message will help heal and serve you. So today I have a new set of cards. I've got the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. So I thought we'd pull that today and find out what our message is from these cards, the Moonology card. Ooh, you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Wow. Take a moment, take a deep breath in. And just like I always recommend, let that exhale go and let's open to this message. You are good enough. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's leading you to ask your question. Have you been humbled to the point of being self-efficating? Self-effacing? I can say that word. Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be a flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you will also need to honestly answer the question, have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. Attune to the moon. Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life. So we are to find that balance between that cosmic and our mundane, boring life. And some other meanings. This can also mean that you're worrying too much, which will actually attract more things to worry about. Maybe you're overly critical. An apology may be in order. And stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for somebody else. And our teaching with this card. The full moon in Virgo is time to declutter your life, your home, and your office. It's time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's time to clear out the energies via salt baths and meditation and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. So really, we need to become back to knowing we are good enough and we just need to live our best life and doing those things. So if we're worrying about something, we're going to create more worry. And there's a lot to worry about. There clearly is a lot to worry about if you listened to my message yesterday. If you're in a Commonwealth country, it's going to be up to you to decide your own path. I don't know if I necessarily hold a lot of belief that the consciousness of, especially Canada, the consciousness of my cult is not in a good place. They're not ready for a rebellion and a revolution. It doesn't seem like that's in the cards at this moment. And I don't even foresee that unless something can happen dramatically in the next year, they're still going to be asleep thinking that we can vote our way out of tyranny. This is the truth. We now have, we have so many scandals, so many. We literally just have this India scandal where an Indian terrorist has been hidden in Canada, but not hidden because we knew he was here because we harbor a whole bunch of terrorists in Canada and just let them live free. And then he got killed. So now we're in this thing with India because he was accused of and then there's another thing of being accused, and now they're pretty much not letting Canadians go to India. So we're literally at war with India, which is concerning since that's one of my favorite countries and I've always wanted to go there. So it's like my twitch a little bit. And now simultaneously we had the Ukraine Prime Minister in Zelensky, who is a freaking actor, just like our Prime Minister. He was a freaking drama actor, okay? So these guys are actors. And the Speaker of the House gave an award to a Polish Nazi, or Ukrainian Nazi. And we had the whole House of Commons stand up and just clap and cheer for giving a Nazi an accommodation, and a recognition. What is going on? And the fact that he's not going to resign, Trudeau is not going to resign anytime soon. And then I go on to a posting where it's somebody talking about our carbon tax, because carbon tax don't exist except for really in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. There doesn't seem to be any more places that are having carbon tax, or maybe some states, but it's really not a whole country thing. And somebody was talking about because our prime minister is saying that he's going to talk to all the grocery store owners, like all the big CEOs of all the grocery chains. And if they don't reduce the price of groceries, he might have to put a a grocery tax, another GST, another government sales tax onto groceries. Again, if you just listen to that itself, you have to twitch. That doesn't make any sense. How is taxing the people that can't afford to buy groceries going to make groceries more affordable? But this guy I was following was breaking down the cost of how the carbon tax adds to your groceries from the point of where, because he's a farmer growing it, to, getting it into the store. Well, there's clearly why things add more. And so then it's interesting because people are all like, Pierre's going to save us. He's our opposition party leader. He's going to save us, this and that. He's not going to save us. He wasn't vocal. When we got locked down, he was hook, line, and center in alignment with all the rest of the political parties. There was maybe 3 politicians in Canada that from the get-go were against what was happening. And I don't even trust the 3 that talked about it and were open about it. I still have hesitation about trusting them, let alone any of them that went along with the scam. And Pierre only started becoming vocal when he realized he could use it as a political move to get himself into being the next Prime Minister of Canada. And if we're literally voting back and forth, we're not making any transition. We are stuck in insanity, and we will be stuck in tyranny, because the truth is he's not any better. His wife works for mainstream media and wrote articles pro lockdown. So if we look at actions of people, speak so much louder than words. And the reality is there is no savior in Canada. And in the Commonwealth, if you don't stand up and decide to do something different, we're just going to be ran over by the tyranny train. So we got a lot to worry about. We are good enough, and you are good enough. We are good enough, and we need to stop second guessing ourselves. And I feel like what really has come to me is that I have to be open that within this next year, I am going to have to be a refugee and find some other place where I can go and live a life that my daughter has potential to create a life where she's not going to be enslaved by tyranny and a social Nazi loving country. Like, it is utterly in shock that there isn't, but people just, they don't think it's as bad as it is, right? So we're stuck in a place, especially if you're in a Commonwealth country and in Canada. And I guess this card for myself is I need to not worry about it, because I'm going to attract more worry. So I'm going to let that go and just trust that I am in alignment, and I will manifest where I need to go. And if the tyranny locks down again, then I am a free sovereign being, and I will find my way through it, even if the masses are completely brainwashed. You are good enough, and stand in your sovereignty. Open your eyes. Remember what has happened in the last 3 years. If you can't even remember what's happened before that, because the corruption still existed hardcore prior to that, it just was a little bit more hidden and a little bit quieter. So remember, we're good enough. We can go forward. And we need to be honest with ourselves. And to be honest, I can't live in the delusion hoping that Canadians are going to wake up. And I can't live in the delusion hoping people are going to see all the apparent truths that have been shown to us. So we need to raise our vibration and just choose to make what we want. Have a beautiful day. I apologize for my rant, but I'm clearly struggling with living under a socialist, communist, Nazi-loving regime. To the 5th Reich, 4th Reich, 7th Reich of Canada. Oh, it's sad. Have a beautiful day, and let's keep that vibe up, and let's remember we are good enough, and we can manifest our reality. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.